Hey, Instagram fam. Hope you're well. Happy New Year's to everybody. And just wanted to go over my 2018 and why I'm excited for 2019. In addition to this powerful fifth word called momentum, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the other four M's that have got me thinking and how they're going to become a part of my daily routine. So, without further ado, hi, Abby. Meditation. This is an easy, low hanging fruit. Hi, Susan. That you can use at any point. So you can use it in your morning, in your afternoon, in your evening. I found that Headspace quantitatively increased my productivity and increased my feelings of happiness both before I looked forward to it. In addition to during, I noticed that I could almost defragment my brain. And then the final thing I noticed was my sleep. So sometimes it would help me nap. In addition to sometimes I would use it to help me sleep at night. So deeper, longer sleep there. From a movement perspective, this is my absolute favorite program of all time, just because it was the one that helped me stay on it. So simply, it's doing 1 to 5 movements a day with 1 of 5 rep ranges. Sounds really simple, but I don't know about you. I have a tendency to overcomplicate, super overcomplicate things. So by taking the overcomplication out of it and keeping things rather simple, I can just kind of pick from this almost bingo board, if you will, and then from that bingo board, I can just go to work. So the problem with me is because there's so many options at hand, the pursuit of perfection becomes overwhelming and I'm not as consistent. But when I know that I can just check off this little bingo board of mine, then I can all of a sudden become more consistent. And with that increased consistency, I can get increased progress and thereby remembering that increased consistency equals increased progress, equals increased closeness to results. Perfection doesn't equal progress. So that's movement wise. If you want more details on that, feel free to shoot me a message. Metabolic. From a metabolic standpoint, this is a big part of my 2018 and will continue to be a big part of my 2019. Both from an endorphin rush in addition to the lack of pounding. From rowing and skiing, I've found that while they do some damage to the wrist complex and the elbow complex, just because I have a history of both injuries, more so the elbow complex, it did increase my awareness of where I was weak. What I mean by that is what energy systems I needed to work on, in addition to which ones I could really pick off in terms of goals. So I was working on a shorter distance, the 2K, the middle distance, the 5K, and then the super long distance, the 10K. At least for me. For other people, it's not so long. But that's really been a challenge, and I thank both Mark Magna and Garage Athlete Justin Farina for their help in the rowing and skiing world. Also Carson and a couple others out there. So we're chasing down some goals in 2019, and that'll be part of it as well. Last but certainly not least is this mindfulness concept. This is very different than meditation. This came about from a conversation with a mentor of mine who said I was focused on too much about what I could do instead of rather what I should do. And I said, well, what do you think I should do? And he's like, well, you know the answer to that. And it was like that Jedi moment of the entering the cave. And quite simply, I think it goes without saying. So many of us are going to search for the answer rather than wait and wait for that perfect moment, going back to that workout perspective. So for me, it was really just studying my daily notes and effectiveness and taking those notes on what made me happy, what made me effective, what made us more successful as an organization, what made us less successful. And so those little notes on a daily basis, that's mindfulness. Because that reading, I read 56 books in 2018, which isn't a lot compared to some of my friends, but for some of you, that might seem like, oh my God, 1 book a week. But I use Audible. So I'm able to use that while I clip away on subway steps and on the subway platform while I'm waiting or cleaning or doing towels. So it was a little bit more of that was filling the mind, and now it's taking all of that and taking those notes from the books that I listened to, maybe rereading them, but also maybe going over the cliff notes and taking those and turning them into actions. So going over that mentorship conversation. It wasn't a long conversation. It wasn't like they gave me like this one huge huge tip. But what they said to me that really stood out was you need to stop focusing on what others are doing. You need to stop focusing on what you should be doing and you need and could be doing, and rather just do it. You got to stop. You just got to stop focusing on everyone else and just ignore the noise and focus on yourself, because that's where the true lighthouse beacon is. That's where you can you shine your the ship receives the light wherever the lighthouse shines on. But something like that. Maybe that's not necessarily the right quote. But yeah, so this whole concept of the 4 M's, I want to make this a part of my daily routine. So putting that out there, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to send this out to the structure clients on our email list. So any questions on this, again, just feel free to let me know. I can expand upon either of them, but thought I'd go and dive a little deeper on this post and what it means to me on the 4 M's and where all this little thing came about. So that's it. Have a great rest of your New Year's Day. Rest up. The gyms are going to be crowded tomorrow. So thank you, and have a great rest of your day.